Hey y'all, Beats Neil back in the building. It's been a long time coming. I'm sorry. I had to take a hiatus from a bit of social media in the beginning, but I'm back. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna promise any cadence of how often I'm gonna come out with videos because I'm doing this as my time allows. So yeah, but I'm back. Get ready with me today as I get ready to go out with my cousin for dinner. Also just chatting about some things that I've gone through personally in my own life, especially as it pertains to friends. I'm sure we've all experienced something with our friends, a misunderstanding that just grew into something that was just totally something it didn't even need to grow into, and sometimes friendship ended. It just be like that. So not much more I can say about that, but listen to me, my conversation as I talk to myself while I do my makeup. If that's something that you're interested in, continue watching. Please, of course, like this video, comment on maybe some of your experience. Maybe you've experienced the same thing that I have, and subscribe to my channel if you of course feel inclined to do so. With that said, let's continue on with the video. What's up, y'all? So you are so smart. So I put my makeup bag in the sink, and the water wasn't turned all the way off, so I got water in my makeup bag. Anywho, I started talking to myself while I was doing my makeup, like I was giving a tutorial. So I said, why not record myself? The reason I'm doing it in the dark is because of this. So because I don't want to hear that hiss and moan and whatever with that fan, we gonna do it in the dark with the help of my little light here. So we gonna make it work. So help me, it's kind of dark. Trying to hit the baby hairs up, make sure they are straight. Jesus, got too much gel on my comb here. I'm getting ready to go out with my cousin, getting some food, starving. Typically, if I know I'm going out, I'll eat light throughout the day, but I've been kind of busy. Just got back from vacation, trying to detox, rid my body of all of the alcohol that I've been drinking this past week. So been pretty much just drinking water, loading up on electrolytes and all that good stuff, so my body can get back to where it needs to be. I'm gonna try and go to the gym or work out, get some type of workout in tomorrow. Lord knows I needed it. Granted, I did get 2 workouts in when I went on vacation. I did some aerial yoga, which was fun. You know, granted, our instructor wasn't all that at all. She was very bossy and just wasn't patient at all. Considering it was our first experience doing aerial yoga, you would think that she'd be a little bit more patient. I'm still contemplating whether or not I need to write her a real bad review. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. See if I make my mind up what I'm gonna do. And I also got in a HIIT workout with my friend Alicia. So yeah, I didn't do nothing. I did a lot of walking too. I didn't do too much eating. I tried to pace myself, but the alcohol, whole nother story. But yeah, I'm trying to finish up my makeup. I already done my foundation. Look at this, broke the whole nail. It is what it is. And these are my nails too. It's just a shame, but whatever. So I'm about to do my conditioner, wet ass conditioner at that. But yeah, I'm going out to dinner with my cousin Cassie. Going to the Boohoo house, eat some real good food. I'm starving. I'm starting to tremble. I'm so hungry. So we're going to do the conditioner like this. I follow this makeup guy on, I don't even know if I follow him. His posts come up a lot on my Facebook video feed, and he was basically saying that, you know, and also I believe Kyla, who helped me with my makeup tutorial, always put your concealer in the corners of your eyes if you want to have that wig look. Kind of put your concealer up high as well, so you bring your face up versus bringing it down. I feel like I needed a little extra coverage because I have really dark under eye circles, and being light skinned really doesn't help. Look at so much water I got in my makeup bag. Smart, Blair, really smart. I feel like whenever I record a video, everything wants to fall. So hopefully it's not petty today. A wet sponge is good, I suppose. I totally forgot to put it on the other area, so we'll put it right there and put it right there. If my eye goes out or in, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. My eye does its own thing. Throwing up gang signs sometimes. I typically blend out everything else and leave the eyes for last because we want that product to sit as long as possible, right? So I'm just gonna dab, dab, dab. I hope this turns out right since I don't have like any light on right now. Dab around like that, make sure like that. I feel like my stomach is eating itself right now. I should have ate something more. I just had like a granola bar and like I said, some water. So shame on me. No, I'm not trying to starve myself. I literally was just busy unpacking, doing some other stuff, all that. I didn't really have no time to look for no food. And I did have like 6 slices of pizza last night, so yeah. What y'all know about that Brooklyn style Domino's pizza? It shouldn't change your life. Honestly, I need, you know what? I'm just making my life hard. Let's put the hair back. Put some of this on. Do I want to put this on? Honestly, I should have got a darker color. We're not gonna use it. I think my concealer's been on long enough. You think so? I'll start blending from the bottom and work my way up. Blend, blend, blend. But yes, my Hawaii trip was really, really fun. I got to see and hang out with some of my very best friends. The only person who's missing was Nicole. She could have made it, my friend from Houston. So, but nonetheless, I'm so glad everybody was able to make it out. We had a blast. I went swimming with sharks. And I'm not an adrenaline junkie by any means. But I was like, you only live once, right? My friend Alicia, she was just like, oh, you're coming. Like, I didn't have an option, honestly. And so I was like, you know what, I need to sit on the boat, you know, watch y'all. I'll do videos, take pictures, do all of that good stuff. But ended up in the water and it was fun. I mean, it was safe, you know, I'm all about safety. But it was fun. I'm not even gonna lie. I also got to go horseback riding, which is always good. As long as we was out there in the sun, I know I should have got a super tan. And I feel like I didn't tan like I wanted to. I wanted to be like 3-4 shades darker, because I feel like when you pale, light skin, it's like all of your stuff just looks extra dark. Under eye circles look extra dark. If you have black hair, it just looks extra, especially when it's on your arms and your legs and everywhere it doesn't need to be. I got a decent tan, but I need to get more toasted before the summer is up. I know that much. So we got the concealer on. So we gotta warm this up. Oh, I'm getting lightheaded. All right, so let's go ahead and warm it up with some, what is this called? I just call it contour bronzer. A lot of these products I've been using for a while now. I don't use a lot of product because I like to keep things natural for the most part. I like to have a natural beat, as they say. But I try to make it look like I really don't have too much makeup on. I don't really like that cakey look. I tend to do more full face makeup when I have like photo shoots and stuff. So I always like to suck my cheeks in because I can see the natural ridges and planes and angles in my face that I need to hit. So I just bought some new brushes too, because last time I put my makeup bag in the sink, brushes got wet, started smelling mildew. Not cute. So I'm gonna get some of that. Hopefully this is the bronzer brush. It's angled, so we're gonna assume it's the bronzer brush. We're gonna make it work. And like I said, hopefully this looks good in daylight, because I want it in the dark. I need to just make a little vanity table makeup thing of sorts and just blend it up, not down. But yeah, on my trip to Hawaii, I went with my friends, and I consider them near and dear to my heart, you know, right? And while I was on my trip, I was just thinking about, you know, all the friends that haven't made the cut, that are not in my life any longer. And it's just like, you know what? I'm just so grateful for the people who decided to stick around. I have no more time or energy to devote to the things or the people that no longer matter. And as far as like, you know, they don't matter necessarily. It's the people who pull away from you, the people who don't really add any value to your life, the people who just like to be petty. And Lord knows, the story to tell y'all about that. Why am I out of breath? Sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath when you're doing too much. I do it a lot. I feel like I'm talking, like I'm holding my breath sometimes. So whenever you need to, whenever you feel like you're doing too much, just breathe. I do that a lot throughout the day. But back to the friend story. I had a situation pop up last August where there was, I feel like it was a misunderstanding, but you know, everything amidst COVID, you know, it was a situation I felt like that definitely could have been avoided if communication was a key part of it. I had a friend basically invite me and another friend over and basically told us, and granted, I think this was maybe the first time we've been invited over to their place, so they're honestly been doing some shady stuff, honestly, beforehand, as far as, you know, doing things when it's convenient for them, only inviting me over by myself individually to talk about a business opportunity that they wanted me to get in on. No housewarming invites, nothing. Granted, it's your house, it's your rules, whatever you feel comfortable inviting me over, whatever. I'm not gonna try and think too much about it because I don't have time to sit here and assume anything about anybody's life. But moving on, our friend invited us over via group text. I said, hey, why don't we have a girls' night? I'll make the drinks or whatever. Y'all just bring your own patio chairs, and we can come over, sit outside, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, it's hot as hell outside. If y'all didn't know. Granted, last August it was hot, real hot, and bugs are outside, swarms of them, cicadas, however the hell you pronounce them. And it's just like, okay. And then my friend in the group chat was like, she was like, so what if I have to go to the bathroom? You know, what then? And she was like, oh, you can go straight to the bathroom and just straight back out. What? So, needless to say, it was kind of rough. Because I, for one, knew this person has been out and about. Not just to the grocery store, not just to the bank, not just wherever, anywhere related to their child. They've been out. And they've also had people over. And I'm sure they were men coming over to your house. Granted, that's none of my business. But my thing is, I'm not going to assume anything about your life, even though I probably 99.9% know what's going on. I respond to the group message and say, you know what, girl, let me know when you're comfortable with us coming inside your house, and I will be there. Because it's too hot for that, honestly. I told her that. She's like, I understand. Totally, blah, blah, blah. My friend, on the other hand, responded, you know what, I'm actually kind of offended, you know, that you would have us come over with the patio chairs and we can only go straight back and whatever to your bathroom. And I totally get it. It's understandable. Because like I said, we know what's going on here. It's not like, I don't know. And also, we've been friends for a very long time. I think the way it was presented, and also just the backstory, like we never had gotten an invite over, only if it, you know, benefits her, or she never comes out when she feels like she can benefit from the situation. If our men gonna be around, whatever, our men gonna be around. So she's like offended. I'm offended by, you know, the whole invite and whatnot. She said, but it's your house, it's your rules, you do what you want to do. She said, but honestly, whenever you're ready or comfortable, I will be there with the drinks or whatever. It wasn't disrespectful, it was just direct. No response. None. I'm putting on a lot of bronzer while I'm talking. But no response. I'm like, okay, maybe she's busy. Like I said, I don't assume anything about anybody's life. So I go on about my business, and I was recording a video, I think, that night, so I really didn't give it too much thought. I think a couple of days later, I checked Facebook, I think. I just trying to go on her page just to see what's going on, if there are any updates or anything, because we still haven't heard back from her in the group text. So I go on her page, and it says add friend. Maybe this is a mistake. So I go on Instagram. I think I was unfriended on there too. Sure. So I'm like, so I call her because I'm like, we need to talk about this. If something upsets you, then we need to talk about it, right? So I called a voicemail, of course. And I left a voicemail like, hey, what's up? You know, I noticed that I was unfriended on social media, blah, blah, blah. If there was something that you felt offended about or needed to talk about, then I would have hoped that you would have come to me and talk about it before the whole unfriending situation, because, you know, we know each other for a very long time. There's no reason where we can't just talk something out if there's something that needs to be talked about. Left her a message, ain't hear back. Not surprised. Something kind of told me that this particular friendship wasn't really going to last. Like I said, this person is typically very self-serving, typically does things when it benefits them. I kind of knew what kind of role I was playing. I kind of knew how to play this friendship. It's like, okay, we can hang out, we can have fun, we can do this and do that. But I know who, you know, I call my best friend. I don't use that word lightly. So I kind of knew that something was going to happen. I felt like especially 2020 COVID, a lot of things just kind of came out to the forefront. Things were being tested, friendships included. So it was just, I knew something was going to happen. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. You know what I forgot to do? Talking, running my mouth. Forgot to set under my eyes. So we're going to do that real quick. I don't know if this is smart. It's still wet. So I'm just gonna do a little powder. I don't do a lot of powder because I'm dry. Not dry personality-wise, but just dry in general, skin-wise. I'm just gonna set it with a little powder. Set there too. Boom. So yeah, that just threw me for a loop, and I haven't heard from her since August. But every now and again on TikTok, I'll see her little videos pop up. Someone you may know. I'm like, so I went ahead and blocked her on my end. I think it was just like she unfriended me. But I'm like, you're not gonna sit here and still have access to my profiles and see what I'm doing in my life, and you can't even return a phone call if we best friends. She just called me bestie. And I'm just like, no, that's not how this works. You can't return a phone call, you don't get access to my life, period. That's just the kind of person I am. Like, what would we be if we didn't have social media? You pick up the phone and call somebody, or you go up to their house. You ain't seeing not a damn thing. That's just me. Because like I said, I don't have the energy to dedicate to people who are sometimey. I ain't got the time for it. You don't need to be my friend. And I feel like that just applies across the board. I'm not gonna sit here and chase nobody who just leave at the drop of a dime or at the first sight of controversy. No, not I. And another friend. I lost a friend back in 2018, and it was honestly, that was another misunderstanding. But basically we were on vacation, trying to make a long story short, and it was a situation where, you know, I had to rent a car, got an Airbnb, organized everything for everybody. And she ended up getting a flight that put her in a day after we got in. Now granted, the drive to and from our airport is 2 hours, just that. She ended up booking the wrong airport. And this airport was located 5 hours from our airport. So that's 7 hours drive with a rental car on limited insurance. So we go to the airport the next day, make the 2 hour drive. On the way to the airport, end up getting damage to the top of the car because of a storm that happened the night before. A power line fell on top of the car. Could have died. But I was on the way to pick my friend, kept it moving. Get to the airport, we don't see you. Where you at? On the phone with her. And she's like, well, I'm at San Jose airport. You at the whole wrong airport. I'm praying to God that this is only like an hour away. 5 hours away. So I'm like, I'm flabbergasted at this point. I'm like, I have no words. I'm sitting here trying to think about it. And she says, you know what? I'll figure it out. I think she gets herself a cab and she meets us at the airport. Cool. Gotta wait till she gets there. So we make busy, go get groceries for our Airbnb, get something to eat, all that good stuff, and we pick her up. And we start a vacation. We end up, you know, we have a good night, we drink, play games, all that good stuff. And I think I'm just using my bronzer for a little something under my eyes. Like I said, I don't do eyeshadow. I just do what I do and hope for the best. I think a day or two after she had gotten there, she pulls me to the side and wants to have a private chat. And she's like, I honestly feel like you should have came and picked me up from the airport and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can understand her point of view. Yes, we are in a whole other country by ourselves, but my thing is, if you offer a solution, I'm gonna take you up with it. I don't really baby anybody. That's just not my natural instinct. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you sure? I can come pick you up and do this and do that. I'm like, you a grown ass woman. If you say you're gonna find a solution, then hey, I'm gonna rock with that. And you know, I have other people on the strip too. We got one whole other person that's stuck in an Airbnb with no food. So I'm trying to look out for everybody as well. If you have a solution and you're able to get to me where I can pick you up, and that works because of it. Also, I'm thinking about everybody here. It's not just about you. I was like, okay. In so many words, I was like, you know, you grown. I'm sorry that if it felt like I was being insensitive, but at the end of the day, I can't read minds. If you would have said something to me, you know, maybe I would come up with another solution. Maybe I'll meet you halfway so you don't have to pay as much for the taxi cab fare. Again, communicate. So we ended up squashing it, talking it out, and she said that she would call the same cab company on her way back. Cool. That sounds like a plan. The night before, she got to leave. At 10 o'clock at night, she tells me that she's unable to reach the cab guy. 10 o'clock at night. So I go on my phone and I look up other options for cabs or shuttles to get her to where she needs to go to her airport. And I find one cheaper than the cab. I'm like, look, I found one right here. This will work for you. She gets an instant attitude. And you know what I really think? I honestly think that she didn't look for an alternative, and I don't think that she actually called the cab company. I think she wanted to leave me without an option so that I could drive her 7 hours to 7 hours back. You know. So I found her the option, and she gets an instant attitude. I go and start packing. I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no, we need to talk about this right now. So I go back to her and I try to talk it out. I'm like, what's wrong? Because it seems like you have, you know, an attitude. And she was like, I really don't want to talk right now. Blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. And I'm like, I can't force nobody to talk. I'm not going to sit here and do that. So I go and finish packing, go to sleep. I'm, you know, got this unsettled feeling in my stomach. Something about to happen bad. Next day, and I go into the room before the night's over. I'm like, we're leaving at 7 a.m. because we have another person leaving out that same day at the airport we came out of. It's 2 hours away. And I think her flight left later on, but I'm not going to drive 2 hours to 2 hours back to take you 2 hours again. That's too much. So we leave at the same time, 7 o'clock. Let everybody know. Next morning, guess who's not ready? Still in the bed. I go in there at this point, I'm like, what's going on? We need to leave. Everybody's in the car waiting. She gets up, got an attitude, saying, why couldn't you just take me to my airport and sat with me and all this kind of stuff? I gotta sit at the airport all by myself, this and that. And I'm flabbergasted. I'm like literally flabbergasted. Cause my thing is, I tend to think rationally for the most part. I consider myself an emotional being, but I don't let my emotions lead me for the most part. I try to think things out rationally. So I'm like, okay, so you want me, and I'm talking this out, you want me to drive you 7 hours to your airport by myself, wait with you until your flight, 10 o'clock at night. It's 7 a.m. right now. Drive by myself back in a car that's already damaged because I was on the way initially to pick you up from the airport. That doesn't make any sense. There's other people on this trip. So I'm just like, I explained this to her and she was like, well, when we get back, I'm just gonna be tapped out as far as our friendship is concerned. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, you didn't even think or try to find an alternative solution. And honestly, if I wanted to catch an attitude, I could catch an attitude because you haven't even paid me for this whole Airbnb. And I think was no contributions toward food or anything like that. So I'm like, I could have caught an attitude with you, but I chose not to. Like, again, I tried to assume anything about anybody unless you tell me what's going on. So that conversation ended. She got in the car. We ended up dropping her off, and she got in the car. I gave her a hug, and I told her I loved her. And she was crying when we both started crying. I'm not a crier. I don't cry, because it really felt like goodbye. It really felt like goodbye. So I can't do this and talk. So I'm gonna finish. But it was goodbye. Sad to say, we hadn't talked since. And sad to say, she passed last year in April. So it was really not the way I wanted things to end. There was always something inside of me that wanted to reach out and squash it. But again, if you let go of our friendship just like that, because I'm not trying to serve you and your needs alone, and you have no consideration for anybody else, I'm like, do I really want you in my life? And I knew, honestly, in the same situation with that friendship, I knew something was going to happen. I knew that it was going to be tested. I felt it way before then. Conversations weren't the same. Felt like we were on, different levels. She was going one path, I was going another, and I felt like something's going to happen. Something's going to happen soon, and it did. Usually when I have a feeling like that, it typically, comes to fruition. So, and it's just, of course, I was sad when I heard that she passed. It was devastating, honestly. And I was just like, I made a vow. If anything ever comes up with me and my friends again, I would hope that we both can communicate it out, because I can't lose any more friends. The people that I have around me are around me for a purpose, for a reason. I think people come into your life, in and out of your life, for a reason, right? And I think that those friendships, they need to end to teach me something. Maybe I'm still trying to learn what it was or whatever, but I feel like I'm more grounded in the friendships that I have. I show up for the people that show up for me, who support me, who are considerate, who add value to my life. So, and if you feel like somebody's not adding value to your life, or somebody's taking away something from you, being negative, a negative Nancy all the time, somebody that you feel like you can't really vibe with like you used to back in the day, just sometimes it's better to let those friendships go. It's all about growth at the end of the day. And I guess I feel like that was our time to part ways. But it was just sad that we never got to settle everything up before she passed. So yeah, I gotta turn the light on for this. Oh, that's bright. But yeah, life honestly also just taught me life is too short to hold on to petty things and whatnot. Shit. If you can work it out, then work it out. But yeah, that's that story. Gotta go through stuff sometimes in order to learn a lesson. I'm starting to learn that the older I get, sometimes I gotta experience pain, experience loss to really appreciate what I have. To be grateful for things that I have. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. That's the best texting thing ever. Or what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna put some little stuff around my eyeballs. I ain't even ironed my shirt yet. Hoping for the best, y'all. That's that. So yeah, I say all that to say, I enjoy the people that show up for me. Thank you so much again to all of my friends who came and celebrated with me on my birthday. Shout out to all the Leos, King Leo. Where am I gonna go next year is the question. We gotta figure that out. Cause yeah, I be trying to be out. Traveling is so rewarding. Get to experience different cultures, trying out the food, the best thing. It's just wonderful. And like I said, life is too short, right? You gotta experience different things. Boom. Let me go and iron my shirt before I end up being late. I'll be back. Alright, so I'm about ready. Gotta do the lip gloss. I do an overline sometimes, but for the most part, I try to stick to my natural lip shade. This is by NYX. I've been using this for a while. One second. Most often, I overline my top lip. But y'all, I'll see y'all later. I got to go before I'm late.